Hey, what's up? This is Alf here. It's time to take a look at some more brands out there in the world creating techwear, technical fashion, dystopian gear, future wear, whatever you want to call it, because this series is not just about celebrating acronym and valence, but looking a little bit more off the beaten track, some smaller brands, some upcoming brands, and hopefully some stuff that you've never heard of before. So we've got 5 different options here, all presenting something relatively unique, something different from each other as well, and all at relatively different price points, although of course, mercifully, all coming in cheaper than acronym and valence. Number 1. Foxbat Dynamics. Number 1 is Foxbat Dynamics. They're a relatively small carry goods manufacturer and definitely more on the tactical and military inspired side of the spectrum, although thankfully without too many cringy straps and other things getting in the way of the designs and of the functionality. If you're into brands like Aoku and Alpha Motif, these guys will definitely be up your street because in a similar fashion they use kind of logos and graphic detailing and stuff like that to bring their designs up past the military, purely functional level into something a little bit more interesting. There's lots of interchangeable things here because they use various different buckles and configuration systems, as well as the molly webbing system as well. So you can not only buy a bunch of Foxbat stuff and stick it all together, but get a bit of this, a bit of some other brands that use the same system, of which there are quite a few out there, and create your own little bag system that's exactly what you want. These guys primarily sell on Taobao, which is not super convenient for us Westerners, but that does mean that, to my understanding, the price of all this gear is fairly reasonable. I can't actually check because I don't have a Taobao login. It's also certainly considered to be one of the better Taobao brands out there. One thing you could try is, I know they have a Facebook page and an Instagram page as well. You could try giving them a little message or a DM or something and see if it's possible to order stuff outside of Taobao if you see something that you like on their feed. I don't know if that's possible, I've not tried, but that could be an easier option than trying to proxy stuff through Taobao. Their social pages have some good photography and a bunch of different bags that you can check out, so it's worth having a scroll through there. Number 2. Hamkus. The second brand here is Hamkus, and these are guys that really exist on the fringe of techwear. And the reason that I say that is, although they do make use of technical fabrics and an all-over dystopian kind of styling, this is very much taken to an extreme and far past the point of pure utility and performance-based designs. Of course, depending on what product you're looking at, this does vary from piece to piece, but some of the more extravagant designs are certainly very out there and really take that deconstructed approach to things pretty far. Their most recent collection could be described as approximately 50% cowboy and 50% apocalypse. So if that sounds like your kind of thing, then Hamkus is the direction to go. I also think they make some good use of colour, more so than a lot of other technical techwear-y brands out there. So if you're into your more kind of lunar core palettes or olive tones, you know, all those kinds of things, then they're a brand to look at for that reason. This is definitely one for the fans of the performative clothing rather than performance clothing. And yeah, if dystopia and futurism and that kind of thing is your style, then Hamkus is definitely worth checking out, because you dress yourself in this, you're gonna end up looking pretty extravagant. Number 3. AIsir. The third brand on this list is Korean. They're called AIsir or AIsir or AIsir. They describe themselves as a Korean lifestyle brand, and if your lifestyle is running from law enforcement in urban dystopia, then you found yourself a brand to take a look at. Of particular note is their recent Gore-Tex collection, where they've taken a couple of different Gore-Tex fabrics and applied that into pants and jackets and stuff. This does have, fairly typically for Gore-Tex stuff now, some fairly prominent branding on here, so you are going to see some pretty chunky Gore-Tex logos alongside their own. But if you don't mind flexing that performance on the outside, then they are worth a look, and some of the placements are quite interesting. Like on the pants, they've got it like on one leg, which is a little bit different, kind of off-center thing. I'm kind of down with that. It's just a more streetwear orientated way of showing that performance, I suppose. There's a pretty big price range in this stuff. Of course, the Gore-Tex things coming in far more expensive, particularly this big 2-in-1 coat, which has got a removable insulating liner, but then they've got some more streetwear-y things as well, which are significantly cheaper. Some of those designs definitely got some kind of futuristic, technological inspiration there, in a kind of similar way to a brand like Cavent, for example. And those kinds of pieces can always nestle fairly nicely into techwear gear. The product shots on their website are not always amazing, so it's worth having a look through their Instagram as well, because they've also got some previews of SS20 stuff coming up, some of which look quite interesting to me. They've got this really nice light grey outfit with this shirt jacket, cool pair of, I guess they're cargo pants, but they've got a bit of an interesting pocket configuration. Doesn't really seem like this brand has hit the West in a big way, but maybe in the next couple of seasons we'll see that change. Number 4. Neman. The fourth brand on this list is Neman. That might be a word that you're familiar with because of the fairly high-profile acronym collab that came out maybe 5 years ago now, the J28K, which was a garment-dyed variant of acronym's J28. Well, Neman are a fully fledged brand in their own right too, creating a variety of clothing options, primarily outerwear based, but they do t-shirts and long sleeves and jumpers and stuff too. And although they certainly are a technical brand, the actual material performance is for the most part second to the dyeing processes and the unique finishes that you get because of that. And as a result, Neman's outerwear options are often very distinctive and pretty unique as well, with these really nice complex color patterns. That means they're not always the most feature rich or the most water resistant products, but the designs are very eye-catching, very head-turning, and it's really great to see a brand like this really make such heavy use of color in a space where blacks and olives and military tones are really so dominant. Unfortunately, Neman is pretty expensive at retail, but the good thing is that it's not uncommon for these jackets to go on sale at the end of seasons, so 50% discount is not uncommon, and you can even see more than that as well, at which point it can be a cheaper option than some equivalent brands. So it's a nice chance to score a really distinctive and pretty cool looking jacket for a couple of $100 as opposed to approaching $1,000. Alongside the acronym collab, they've had a few others as well which have added extra pieces to their repertoire. So this season they had a face mask collab, which gave it a garment dye treatment, of course, having this kind of cool green finish. They've done stuff with Masterpiece as well, a bag manufacturer, again creating some cool garment dyed finished products. So there's lots of interesting things surrounding this brand that definitely make it worth checking out. Number 5. Triplet Design. The fifth and final brand on this list is Triplet Design. They're an outdoor performance focused brand. Definitely less of an urban edge than the other brands on this list, but as you guys know, I like to present a bit of a variety of things so you guys can pick out the stuff that speaks to you the most. I'd say they have more heritage or heritage inspired looks, good layering options as well, and some jackets that are high performance without being quite as kind of over the top or tactical as the other brands on this list. So this is definitely the one if you do want that material performance, you want that all condition gear, but without turning yourself into a total edgelord. And they've also been kind enough to name a fleece after me. They've also got some female specific gear, which outside of the major outdoor brands is not that common to see, so that's definitely a good thing. Prices are not too unreasonable, I think, considering they are designed for outdoor performance and long-term durability, and they have photos of people actually doing stuff instead of just standing around, which is always a bonus. Anyway, we're talking around $200 for a relatively basic jacket, up to about $500 for a really fully featured thing, and they've got different options at different levels in between there. And of course, things like mid layers and base layers and stuff, they come in cheaper than that, and again, more kind of reasonable levels. And that makes this video's 5. This is possibly the most diverse list of techwear brands that I've done for one of these videos. So hopefully on that basis, there's going to be at least something that you like, regardless of whether you fit on the kind of slightly edgy, tactical gear side of things, or whether you just want to go out for a hike and you want some nice performance stuff, and everywhere in between, of course. So let me know down there in the comments, which of the 5 brands do you think is your favorite? Do you think there's something from these brands that I should look to pick up and look at in more detail, do a bit of a review on? And if you hated all 5, then please leave me an angry comment and tell me what I should be looking at instead. If you enjoyed the video though, please do give it a like, because it's super appreciated. And as always, we will be back next week with another video. Shout out to everyone who looked at last week's video. There were some really good insightful comments on there. It's basically exactly what I wanted to see. There were some people that were like, I don't really like denim anymore. I found that there are better things for me. And some people saying like, don't restrict yourself on, you know, wearing or not wearing certain things. It's about what suits you. So it was good to see those kind of like different opinions being served up there. Thanks for making it all the way to the end of this video. If you want to catch some more, there's going to be links going up at the top there of some recent videos that you also might enjoy. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then do the thing that every YouTuber tells you to do and hit the button and click the bell and turn the notifications on your phone and sacrifice an animal to Satan, share it with your nan, and if you do all of that, then you'll be blessed with good techwear cops for the next 100 years.